Hey friends, Lucian here with the Bullish Bears team. I wanted to make this video on how to make a trade in the ThinkorSwim platform. I'm actually up here using my ThinkorSwim simulated trading account. If you're not familiar with ThinkorSwim and their platform's somewhat complicated, but it's one of the best to use, especially if you're getting started in the industry. Not because it's necessarily it's again complicated to get set up with them first, but it's the best overall to really learn from because they have a highly interactive simulated trading platform where you could basically trade with them, use all of their charts that you see here, their scans set up, and use basically fake money. It's your whole simulated account, so you don't have to blow up your trading account trying to learn how to do things. And that's why we really recommend using ThinkorSwim, because it's a very interactive program. And as you can see here, there's lots going on in this chart. I'm actually making this video during live market hours right now to show you kind of how everything runs and moves and the flow of the market with the ThinkorSwim platform. And in this simulated trading platform, it's basically like using a live platform. I have it set up here with the real-time data. Again, if you're with ThinkorSwim or TD Ameritrade and you have their platform, now it's kind of a gray area because they set you up at first and they'll put you up here on delayed data. So you got to call them and say, listen, I know that you guys have the real-time data with other people. Can you please turn it on for me? Usually they will turn it on for their clients, even if you're just getting set up. If they don't, basically, you got to kind of be nice to them and talk to them and say, hey, listen, I know, I don't want to go to maybe somebody else and I want to stay with you guys. Can you please turn it on? You know how that game works. You got to kind of finagle sometimes. But once you get the real-time data set up, it's awesome set up on your simulated account because, again, you can trade the markets live. So I'm going to show you how to place a trade with ThinkorSwim and doing live time, with live charts, maybe show you just some of the stocks, show you the flow of it, show you the different areas of where you go to place trades and how you can place trades, because there's several different areas within ThinkorSwim that you can go and place a trade. So right now I actually have Apple up right now just because everybody knows Apple, but I'm going to show you the different areas that you can go and make a trade. So first place that you can go to is right up here to the trade tab. So if I click on trade, you'll see down, oh, why is that doing that? Well, see, so another thing. I can go to trade and now I can put in Apple. So this is where I get a little confused because I don't really like using this. I don't trade this way. I'm trying to show you the different ways to do it. So that's what happens. So go over here, go to charts. So I'm like, I want to go to Apple. So I could go to trade. I could go and I could type in the symbol for Apple, and then I can see what's going on here. I'm used to doing things off of the charts, and I'm going to show you how I trade over here and make a trade. But again, just for this video, I'm trying to do something I normally don't do, so it kind of throws me off. So you'll see a little trade ticket window kind of open up here. Right down here is options chains, but if you're looking to buy stock of Apple, you would look up here. If you're looking to buy options, you would open up down here and look at whatever expiration you want to go to and kind of go from here. So these are the drop downs for options. But for stock, you'll see up here the current price of Apple, or the last price of Apple, I guess you'd say, is 128.46. You look over here, this is the bid price, this is the ask price. So if I wanted to get filled right this second, well, I could actually put in a market order and go out to whatever the market price is. But I want to show you, well, I'm going to show you both. I'm going to show you market order and limit orders. There's also several other ways you can do things, but just for this video, I want to keep it simple and just show you how to place an actual order. So I'm looking over at the ask price and the bid price. If I put it in at the ask price, then I could usually get filled. There's a very tight spread here, which is good. You want to find a good tight spread, between bid and ask, because, it keeps it, easier, to basically profit with it. If you have spreads that are 5, 10, 15, 20 cents off in between the bid and ask, that's where it gets a little trickier, and you have to be a little bit more careful. But up here, all I would do is I actually use a mouse still because I just am more familiar and I like doing it and it's easier for trading. But if you don't, whatever you have on your computer, if you're a touchpad or whatever, you want to basically do a right click. So however your computer set up, you right click. I'm right clicking on the mouse here, and right here you'll see a screen with a bunch of things that you can do. I'm just going to show you how to buy here. But there are other things like buy custom, where you can go, and this is where you can have a stop loss automatically set up over here. But for this video, I don't want to confuse you. I'm just going to go to buy. So I'm going to click on buy, and down here a trade window opens up. And this is where it says buy however many shares that I want. I can go up and I can go down, or I can go in here and I can manually type in there, and then it would go, then it just keeps going up. So it basically, I just change however I want here. So this is how you do it. So we'll just, for this video, I'll just show, let's do 100 shares right now. So there you go. So I got buy 100 shares of Apple stock at, now this is where I choose. Do I want to do a limit order, or do I want to click over in, actually over here, and right under order, it has it as limit, or do I want to do market? So this is where we always suggest to people to do limit orders, because that's where you can control the price. Market, if I press market, that sends it out to the market and gets whatever the current price of Apple is. So if you were trying to get it at 128.45, but Apple, when you send it out to the market, let's say it jumps up to $129, then that got filled higher than you could have maybe got if you were patient and waited at the ask with a limit order. So market orders, I never use market orders. I guess if you want to go in and you want to try and get a stock quickly, that's when people do it. But we try to always teach people to go slow, choose your price, and that's why we like to do limit orders. So limit order, because this is where I can choose my price. So basically I can go up and down here, so I can do the up arrows, or I can do the down arrows, or I can click in here and go and type in another number, manually type it in, however I want to do it. But I want to look at the bid and the ask. I usually put the price in at bid price, and then I adjust up to ask, but this is so tight, it's only a penny difference, so it's not a big difference right now. So I'd probably put it at 128.44 limit order. And then again, I'm going to show you this again. There's so many different things you can do. Buy with stop, stop limit, trailing stop loss. That's all other different strategies. I'm just going to show you how to buy. And then right here, you'll see day, GTC, and then EXT and GTC EXT. Day means that you want it filled today. Good to cancel means anytime filled during market hours after today. So if it didn't fill today and you wanted it filled sometime in the next few days, weeks, or months, you could just leave it as good to cancel. Exchange, I don't want to confuse it, just leave it as best or whatever the default is on yours. But I'm going to keep it as day for now. So obviously I wasn't even looking at above, and the ask actually changed right now. I can change it to to the 43, or I can leave it at 44 just in case it goes up a penny or so, because I want to get filled. So basically you just want to always review your order. You want to double, triple, quadruple check it, because you always want to be careful, because once you place that order, there's really no turning back. And if you make an error, I've made plenty of them, they're not fun. So basically just double check your order here. Then you're going to go to confirm and send. This is where you really want to confirm and double and triple check your order. Look over here and see, again, this is a simulation, not a real trade, but I'm actually going to place the order to make it a real trade. So you'll see buy 100 shares of Apple. The limit order that I place it at, that would be $12,844 plus the commission fee. Again, double, triple, quadruple check here. Make sure that it's right, because your emotions are running high when you go to make a trade, and you always want to be careful. So right now I have it at the 44. I should get filled. And if I want to place send, I'm going to press place send. Let me just make sure this is my simulated account. I want to make sure I wasn't using my real one by accident. So I'm going to press send. When I press send, look at that. Bought 100 shares of Apple, because I bought it above I had my the price above the ask. And now I come over to here to monitor, and I can see right here I have 100 shares of Apple. That's what it cost me. I'm down a little bit. I'm down 50 cents on the day. If you want to change your screen to look like this, you can come over here to the toggle wheel and you can add over here the different things. So again, by default, they'll have different things showing up on their end. You want to make sure you just add whatever you want to see. I like to add these on here so I can see what I got it for, how much I'm up, number of shares. But you can tweak, so you can add something over here, add item, have it over here, or if you want to delete it, you can take this and remove it. But that's really how you place the trade. So now I have it in here right now. I'm looking at Apple. So now I would go to charts, and I can see what's happening with Apple. I could go to sell it right now if I would like. So if I want to sell my shares of Apple, I would then go over here and right click, and then I would do create a closing order, and I would sell 100 shares of Apple. And then right up here, if I want to sell it at 128.41 or 42, obviously I'm selling for a loss, I believe, because I think I got it at 42. Well, let's just, for the heck of it, let's see if I can sell it at 42. So now here's a sell order down here. So let me do that again. I'm going to hit delete. I'm going to go back to monitor. I'm over here. I'm going to right click, closing order, sell. Now you'll see a sell order up here. Double check, triple check. Just always look over everything. And you'll see up here, it's at the 41. I'll put it to 42. Again, limit order, day. I'm going to go and confirm and send. I want to sell 100 shares of Apple, 128.42. But you see, it's dropping right now. Chances are I'm not going to get filled because it would fill around the 38, not the 42. So I will hit send. It's not going to work right now, but I could keep it open for the day, see what happens, see where I want. We'll look right down here. Here's another area you can see. Here's my shares of Apple down here. You can see them down here as well. You can see them on the trade ticket. So again, remember I was saying with ThinkorSwim, there's many different areas you can see things. You can go over to monitor and see things up here. You can see my sell order. You can see my shares of Apple over here. You can go over to trade. You can see it down over here, and you can see my sell window down here. So there's a little sell area here. So if I didn't want to go over to monitor and do it this way, I can go over to trade, come down here, see it down in this window. I could right click on sell, go up to, actually let me do this, not right click. Oops, see, another area. This is just so crazy. Actually, I think I just can double click on it there. Double click on it, then right click, and then cancel replace order. So let me do that again, just to show you again, there's several areas, and this is why we try to stress to people, always, 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 just really practice with ThinkorSwim. See, I'm not even familiar myself with doing it as much this way because I do my trading a whole other way. I'm trading off of the charts, and I have stop losses, and I can move up, see that I can move this up or down over here. I don't want to do that right now. So, but this is, I do because I watch the charts. I'm a day trader and a swing trader, so I kind of watch these things and I adjust up this way. So this is where, again, like if I don't practice doing this or I'm not familiar with the account, it could be very overwhelming because there's so many different areas. It's great that you can trade from multiple areas. However, it can be confusing, and that's why practice, practice, practice. So you come down here to trade, I double click on sell, and then I can see it down over here. I right click on it, cancel and replace order, and then I can go and change it this way, right? So I can change it from here from the trade tab, or I can now go over to monitor. I can see my order up here. I can see how I have my shares down here. All I would do is right click up here, cancel and replace order, and then I can go and sell it that way as well. So there's multiple different areas, the trade window, the monitor, going up to the charts right up here. I think this right here. So this, there it is. It's sold. See that? I had my limit order right there. And that's where I like to adjust from the charts. It makes it so much easier. But hey, it filled. So Apple jumped up, went up and got filled. Let's go to monitor and see what happened. Looks like I broke even. So hey, I didn't lose money. So that's good. But let me go over to charts. Let me show you a couple other ways to make the trade with ThinkorSwim. So now I could be on my charts. I can go up to here, click on price. So now I have 3 windows open. If this is confusing to you, let me go and just do 1 window. So now let's say I'm just looking at 1 chart of Apple. I like to, again, find my support and resistance and find entries. But you know, if you're not familiar and you just want to practice with 1 chart, just come up here to where price is and left click on it and click buy. And there's the window here, and I can buy this way. You know, again, double check. See if you want to confirm, you can go and I can place the order right here. Boom, send it in that way. So I can click on price. What other areas? I believe, right click on the chart. So if I right click on the actual chart or an area, I could basically buy that way. I could do it that way. So I can go to an area on the chart down here, 128. Yeah, so look at this. So you can go up to, you know, just an area on the chart, right click on the area. Let me go up here because actually price is more. Yeah, it's 128.42. So maybe, let me go up to where it is right here. Down here. Maybe I put a right click down here. Let's say I want to wait for it to come back down a little bit to the moving average lines. I can right click and click buy, and you'll see down here 129. So I can put it at, well, that's above price actually right now. What's going on in my chart here? Oh, that's why. See, look at that. Again, practice, because I was at a farther back time frame. So let me zoom back down, and so you can see the chart here. So now you can see there's price right now, 128.43. Now it might be moving up. It looks like it's moving up on the RSI. This is a 1 minute. Price might be going up. It's a nice bull flag there. Again, I would like to, obviously this is a mess, this chart. I don't like it, but just for this video, maybe I want to see here, I want to catch it before it crosses. Maybe it's going to go up. Nope, see it drop down to the moving average again. So maybe, again, I wouldn't trade like this normally, but just to show you, I'd right click here, I would click buy, and then I could put my order in right here and hit send. So right off the charts, it's so much easier to do it that way. I'd like to, like I said, for this video, I want to show you multiple ways to do it, but I like doing it off of the chart. But yeah, let's do it for the heck of it. Let's put an order in. See, I'm looking here for an entry. It's kind of moving down. For the heck of it, I'm just gonna put it in. Right click, buy. 100 shares of Apple, 128.42. Send. See what happens. Ah, look at that. So now it didn't fill there. So what is price now? It's at 128.44, and I have mine at 42. Looks like it's going up, so I'm going to move it up. Send. Boom. It filled. See that? So now what I can do is I could watch what price goes, see what's happening here. I could right click and I could do a sell order. I can sell my shares of Apple right here, and boom, I can go and sell right from the charts. So that's how I personally like to do it. I also have another way that I do things. I have mine where I adjust a stop loss. So I'll put my order in and I'll put it with a stop. So what I'll do is, let's say I believe this is going to go up. I might keep watching here, see if it crosses over the moving average up here. So I might right click, place an order to buy custom with a stop loss, and then I could adjust the stop loss how I want. So let's say I want to buy it at 128.46, but the most I'm looking to lose is maybe 10 cents a share on that. So 10 cents times 100, what is that? Maybe, what is that? Bad with math. Is that 10 bucks? Normally, let's say I'd buy 1,000. No, I'm just going to, just for this video. So this will go to show you basically if I got filled, if I got filled at 128.46, it'll automatically stop me out if price drops suddenly after I place that order, at 127.36. Oh, that's $1. I'm sorry, I apologize. So it's $1 per share. So yeah, the most I'm looking to lose, let's say, and this would be $100. Normally I would do it. I don't trade Apple much. I like 1,000 share increments, so I usually put a 10-cent stop. So the most that I would lose would be $100. Again, with Apple, because it's more expensive, it's a 100 share block over here. So yeah, that's actually what I would probably do, so I don't lose more than $100, because you always want to have like a 2-to-1 ratio. You want to make, if you're willing to lose, $100, you want to make sure you could at least make 200. If you're, if you can make 500, maybe your max loss is 250. It's all what you're comfortable with. But with trading, you want to have a 2-to-1 profit loss ratio. So with this right here, let me see, 128.46. I'm going to confirm and send it. Again, now, before I do that, there's so many other ways. I don't want to confuse you, but there's so many different other ways to do this. I want to show you just an example of when you start to evolve after just placing a trade, some of the other areas that you're going to be able to go in to trade. And see that? Look, it's going up. I'm going to adjust it right now. 50, confirm and send. Looks like it might be a bull flag. Again, I'm going quickly for this video. So, but see, don't do it. Don't go quickly. See, that's what I want to teach you, is don't go quickly, because that's where you can rush. And by the time I go to rush, because I'm thinking this might be a bull flag, it could pull back. You want to be careful. Like I said, I'm not charting the stock right now, but buying 100 shares of Apple, let's say at 128.50, look at that. I would have gotten trapped and I could have maybe gotten a better price. But I would sell 100 shares right here. So I'm willing to lose $1. Well, $1.10, I guess that is. Yeah, it's $1.10. Because I'm a little OCD, I don't like that. So I'm going to move it up to $1 to make it even. Yep, 120. Yeah, so that would be the most. So the most I would lose is $100, unless the stock, it was really drastic move. But right now it shows 128.50. I don't want to just place an order, so let me. Just for this video, I'll show you how it works, because I don't want to create bad habits for you, because look at it, this is a mess. You want to always do your proper support and resistance. But for this video, let me just put it in. Let's get filled. And so now, as you can see, I bought 100 shares of Apple at a 128.44. But look at this. Now my stop is automatically down here right now, and this isn't looking good right here. So this is just a random stop. But what I can do is I can move my stop loss up right pretty. Let me do that again. Just move it up to over here, confirm it, and boom, now it's protecting me. I can watch the candlestick, see what's actually happening here. And as it moves up, I can adjust my stops to eventually, obviously, if I'm properly charting my stock, I break even, and then I would keep moving it up, or I could go and I can create a sell order. But this stop loss is your #1 protection. So this is what I really want to stress to you, is always have a stop loss with your stocks, whether you're day trading, swing trading, long-term trading. #1, always do your proper technical analysis and everything, but stop losses will definitely protect you like you wouldn't believe. And what we like to teach people is that it's not all about making money in the stock market. The best traders in the world only succeed sometimes anywhere to 50 to 65% of the time on their trades. So you say, how do they become rich? How do they become great traders? And it's because they manage risk. And I'm going to interrupt myself here. Just like I said, I'm going to move up my stop loss just for this video to show you. Boom. See, as the price goes, I can move it up. So it's all about managing your risk. So that way you could fail on 50% of your trades, but make money because you have at least that 2-to-1 profit ratio when trading. So it's all about managing your risk when trading. So I'm showing you bad habits because I'm just randomly putting orders in, but this is what a lot of new people do. They get caught up in excitement and they place random trades, and maybe they don't have stop losses going. I'm not worried as much about Apple per se, because Apple's a good company overall, but with some of those volatile stocks, like some of these over here on the watch list, you can kind of get burnt. So this is where, I could sell by my stop loss. If I didn't want to go and sell, I could just move up my stop loss and let my stop loss trigger. Boom. See, my stop loss triggered right there. So I could sell that way as well. So there's numerous ways to be able to sell within ThinkorSwim. And look at that. After all that messing around, I actually only lost $1 so far with Apple. Another way you can do it, I can go over here and I can have level 2 set up. So I can look at level 2, which is the the sellers and the buyers over here. I can see what's actually going on. I could right click over here. I can create a buy order from here or a buy custom order. You know, it all depends on how you want to do it, but I can buy right here. And so I can put my order in here. So there's, again, so many different ways to make trades within ThinkorSwim. Hopefully this isn't too complicated for you. I wanted to, in essence, start off this video just making it just only as simplified, but that way, you know, I wanted to show you different ways to do it, to show you how you're going to evolve as a trader, because it's not all about buying and selling stocks. It's looking at the big picture and seeing how you'll actually be trading. And if you want to become a good trader, you're going to want to not only just look at one chart, you're going to want to look at, you know, several different charts. You're going to want to link them together like this. Again, if you're not familiar how I'm doing this, watch our ThinkorSwim playlist on YouTube, and you'll see how I do, you know, how I set up all the charts like this to make it look this way. It's complicated at first, but trust me, I had many different calls, many calls into ThinkorSwim to get good at it this way. But hopefully we saved you the trouble by just watching our YouTube playlist to kind of make it simplified for you. But yeah, so I would just look like this. This is how I trade. I'd have the 1 minute, maybe the 3 minute, the 5 minute. That's how I do with day trading. But you know, if you're looking to swing trade a little bit, maybe I do the 5 minute and the daily. Look at how things set up, see what's happening, and then look for my entries. So right over here, Apple is really overbought on the daily. If I think Apple is going to continue to go up, maybe I'd wait for a pullback. So I'd look what's happening on the 5 minute charts. You know, it's coming down on the 5 minute. On the 1 minute, it may be making a bull flag. You got to see what's actually happening. But look at this. It's a garbage. It's a mess right now. But that's where you want to look at the big picture and not just be like, oh, let me just buy a stock. You want to chart it. You want to do proper technical and fundamental analysis. You want to get familiar with the platform that you're using. If you're not a day trader or a swing trader, that's okay. If you're a long-term trader, then change your charts up. Come over here and do a daily. Over here, and maybe a weekly, and then maybe a monthly, and then you can do it this way. But it's just important to just always chart your stock. So again, there's several different ways. Just to highlight again, I can go up to trade and make the trade here. I can go over to where was the other one here? I can go over to charts. Come over in the charts, I can click up in price up in this area, buy over here. I can right click on the chart, buy from here. I could click on level 2, right click in here, buy over here. So there's several different ways to do it. Again, as you evolve, you're going to probably do it more by looking at the charts and probably right clicking in an area with a chart. It'll be much easier, or clicking on price, or again, probably even level 2. It's just all of what you're more comfortable with. But starting out, maybe you do with trade. I would start off with really just kind of, you know, maybe you do it with the trade window at first just to get more comfortable, just practicing it. But ideally, if you want to become a good trader, you're having your chart set up and you're doing it through the charts in one of these areas like price, or right clicking on the chart, or on level 2. So hopefully this didn't confuse you. I went really in depth on how to make a trade here, but this is why you want to get comfortable with it. If you're not familiar with ThinkorSwim, they have one of the best platforms in the world. They're phenomenal, but you got to get comfortable with it. And that's why it's so incredible to have this simulated trading platform, because this will absolutely save your brokerage account and prevent you from losing a ton of money. So hopefully this helped you. If you need more help with ThinkorSwim, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube playlist and watch our ThinkorSwim playlist. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're not a member of our Facebook community yet, we have a great community called the Bullish Bears on Facebook, with a bunch of traders from around the world that just love helping each other out. So come and join us. If you are currently a member,